if you were getting away with just super relaxed shoulders and posture and all that stuff, when we get into those 5 and 6 round engagements, it's gonna need something. What it's doing is teaching you what is something. So just because Rick says relaxed shooter is a fast shooter and how we should have zero tension going into the engagement, I'm doing a gross correction because of what I've seen. All right, the dope drill was showing me lots of fucking induced tension was being involved within your shooting platforms and your postures presenting a gun to target. I want to do a gross correction, so I say grip it like an empty Coke can. Then you're gonna modulate and make sense of it from there based off see, feel, do. The tension in the shoulders, once you get up to those rounds of like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's going to require a bit more. But I don't want you going ahead and associating, okay, now that we're at 6, jumping right into it, because it's not that. But it is consistency and discipline of what you're inputting into the gun to get a consistent output, all right? This is a graduation drill. This is something that within the morning framework of what we've done is teaching you through see, feel, and do what it should look like, what it should feel like, because I've literally gripped your hand, Shane's gripped your hand. We've shown you guys how you guys should be consistent and disciplined at the gun level. And then I drew it for you exactly what the sight should look like if you do achieve a good grip. It should return as fast as it left, and it should maintain a good behavior that's consistent, reliable, and predictable to either not leave the zone or to consistently return the zone fast as you can shoot at this distance. So what do we then go from here after we've done our trigger control at speed, our 50-50s, our awareness drills, our doubles, we do graduation drill. Where do we then go from here? You increase the distance, right? Or we start now getting this information to associate within movement. We don't even have to move. We also don't need moving targets. Those marathon targets that are like $30,000 to $60,000, you don't need them. Believe it or not, all I gotta do is move the target information. So if I've got TJ here and he's on 9, well, now I'm gonna force him to shoot 9 and 10, return back to 9. So he's shooting how many target planes? 3 with just 2 targets. So, Rick, I don't have, balling on a budget. I like to put all my money into ammo. Cool, you only need 2 targets, and I can make as much creative bullshit out of drills and courses of fire to make this hard. Because if I've got 2 of these targets, I've got zones all over. I've got thoracic, I've got head. I've got thoracic, I've got head. And we can make it all different types of acceptable sight pictures and pushing you to see what you need to see. So sight appropriation drills are now about to come into effect. You guys saw when you guys were shooting this thoracic cavity, and I just gave you and told you all you got to do is try to maintain all your rounds into this box. I'm going to give you the whole box now. You're going to take the whole A zone. How much of a sight picture do you really need to maintain all A zone? You guys were just shooting and pressing a trigger rapidly fast, and yet you don't see a single round outside this A zone. So does TJ need to slow anything down about the way he's engaging this A zone with 2 rounds? No. What about the head box, the credit card? Drastically has to change shit here. Why? It's not even a half the size. It's not a quarter of the size. It's a fraction of the size. Like, let's just call it 1/8. All right? There's probably 8 of those boxes that could fit in there. 1/6. I don't care what you guys call it. Size doesn't really matter. The discipline is now going to be what? Holding to a higher standard or a lower standard? The level of you confirming the information to be there, higher standard or lower standard? Yeah, let's say if I draw, I present, that strifing, like literally blur of a red dot, could be accurate and give me what value of hit? 5. I don't need it to come out and settle and be perfect. If I see that, I'm shooting what? Slow. And I'm seeing what I want to see versus what I need to see. I want you to shoot what you need to see, not what you want to see. We all want to see perfect information. If you're a control freak and you've got OCD, we all want a pretty target. Well, you always shooting for that pretty target and focusing on the outcome will never produce this under tension, stress, or speed. So if I can get this, or any kind of striping moving dot here off of a draw as I present. As I draw, drop the elbow, present, and it comes in, bang, bang, and what should it look like up here? Should it be striping through? Fuck no. Not many of us could even do that at 5 yards, let alone at any further distance. So if we know it's a very low probability of success, what would you not choose as a course of action? To address this size of target the same as that. So instead of seeing this, you're now going to want to see what? That. How much time does it take to see that? And can it be acceptable? Absolutely. It could come up here. It could come up here. It could be up here, there, there, there. Trust me, at 5 yards, you don't have mechanical offset like you do with a rifle to make the difference. As long as it's acceptable and you don't disrupt it from there, it's going to be a what? A zone hit. So that's where we're gonna go from here. Instead of just crushing, getting up to a bill drill in the thoracic cavity, now we're gonna start working sight appropriation. Because the permission to shoot lies within what? The information you're processing on target. Not in your sight, because I'm not literally in this box. This is called MPS. I'm not literally in there, because if I was, what would I see? I taped it. I would see black with a red dot. But instead, I'm here with my eyes. When could I leave this zone to now go looking for a sight picture and use the energy of recoil to go north, because it goes north, yes? Off the second round, bop, bop. How did my hand travel up and get north? My eyes were planted there. It's very important you guys take this very serious, whether you're in law enforcement, you're a civilian. Because if you're ever trying to get better at shooting, you have to be willing to fail in front of others. You have to go compete in order to really find where your skill is going to peak, right? And when you do hit that peak and you're like, oh dude, I plateaued. Like I plateaued 10 years ago. Cool, go compete. I guarantee you fix that plateau issue. I guarantee you with the first match, you figure out how to accept less in sights because the 14-year-old kid is gonna force you. The girl, the 70-year-old man is gonna force you. 70-year-old woman is gonna force you to do it because she's doing it and she's smoking you. There's no way in hell any of you men, type A individuals, are going to allow some 14-year-old or some 70-year-old man or 70-year-old woman to beat you. So as soon as it comes up, I should not wait till it stops, then go bop. I should brake as it's continuously moving where? Through the zone. As long as it reaches and I can, at an awareness level, say, yes, the dot has entered that zone, break the shots. Then get the eyes at the next task. Finding new information, shoot appropriately. Present up, prep the trigger on the presentation up. So, 2 distinct engagements, yes? 2 distinct. Not 4, because 2 are exactly the same and the other 2 are exactly the same, yes or no? So it goes bop, bop, and then it goes bop, plant, bop, or bop, reset, bop. Or it goes 2, I literally, as fast as I said 2, as fast as you can blink, I committed 2 rounds in that direction. Because ultimately, I do not need to see them there. I've already confirmed enough information to know where what is. Those 2 rounds. Bop, bop, and now I've what? Looked to the next zone, the next home base in which I needed to carry the dot in recoil, that kinetic energy, bop, bop, it now carried it north, right where my eyes were. And as soon as it plants and is stable enough, I just gotta stay disciplined and consistent with both vision and grip. From there, I just say press, reset, press. Or I go 2, 1, reset, 1. It's that simple, guys. Now, where we really fuck up and where you don't learn anything is if you go bop, bop, and then look for the result. Trust me when I say after your 4 rounds are done, good, bad, or ugly, you're gonna see the result. But at least focused within that short period of time that I'm getting you guys conditioned to the process in order to get 100% accountability, no matter if I gave you a problem from left field or right field. Because all we've done already so far is just shoot 1 freaking target. I need to move target information. Why? Because what do you think you're gonna be forced to do in an officer-involved shooting? Move. They're also not gonna what? Stand still for you, okay? And if we can get really good at moving the gun to new information, then we can get really educated and conditioned to knowing which sight picture is appropriate. All right, online at 5 yards.